There is some brand new breaking news information regarding this F-22 intercept slash shoot down of that Chinese spy balloon. You guys are definitely going to want to hear this. It ties in and correlates to something this channel was reporting a little over 2 years ago. Who remembers October 2020 and the very strange flashes that occurred over the southeastern United States? Nashville, Eglin Air Force Base, the report from Dutchens, the Hurricane Delta telemetry. Who remembers that? Well, stick around. You guys are definitely going to want to see how this correlates. It'll absolutely blow your mind. But real quick, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to the huge group of people that have gone over to Patreon and signed up over the last couple months. You guys are making a huge, huge difference. For only $1, I know a lot of people say, why are you only charging $1? You could charge more. I want the most amount of people to be able to go over there as possible so that they can get read in on the psychological operations coming out of the mainstream media and out of the government. How to read through it, how to look past it, how to get out of the emotions that they're trying to elicit. It's only $1 per month, and it's even less if you sign up for an entire year and fully refundable for the first 90 days. What's different? Over at Vimeo, where I upload the videos there, it's away from the prying eyes of Google, and you can speak your mind, and you can show things that you would never get away with here. And if you have any questions about that, ask anyone down in the comments section. I've actually lost a few viewers because they've said the imagery sometimes is a little bit too R-rated. But I'd rather err on that side than err on the side of being too restrained. So would love to have you over there. Guys, this video especially, PsyOps 101, they are counting on the American people forgetting what happened in late 2020. Most people weren't paying attention to it anyway, because of course that was the first year of the whole 2020 sniffles thing. But real quick, we're going to give a shout out to a viewer that actually kind of took me down this road when I started looking at this. This is from yesterday. This is our video. Max Alert, we now have 100% undeniable proof. Green comet responsible for devastation in Turkey. And I showed 6 examples historically, going all the way back to 1811, where there were major comets visible in the sky, and they correlated with huge earthquakes. Well, this particular viewer saw a 7th one. I almost deleted the comment because it started out with Maquis. If you can't read my channel name and type it right, I just don't normally have any patience. It's Florida, Maquis, M-A-Q-U-S. So I almost deleted it, but I thought, well, let's read for at least one sentence. And Shinobi writes, check this out. Comet NEAT was high in the evening sky on May 8, 2004. And he talks about this guy that caught it on camera and how long the tail was. But that was the same year as the great 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. And so that would be a 7th correlation. And I looked it up, and this is, of course, the wiki. C2001 Q4 near-Earth asteroid tracking caught this. So it's that particular earthquake and tsunami, because it happened during a holiday in North America. Most North Americans really didn't grasp how incredibly destructive and devastating it was. It is by far, orders of magnitude, the most deadly natural disaster to ever occur in recorded history. By far. There are many areas this affected where they didn't really even have good population numbers, so counting how many actually died was guesswork. And it was so bad that they just had to burn huge stacks of bodies. The funeral pyres could be seen from space in India and this area. That's how bad this was. But I don't want to get too far off topic. Now, this issue with the F-22 going up and using a heat seeker to destroy the electronics cargo being carried by the giant balloon, the first thing I thought about when I saw this was, why are we acting like it's the 20th century? It's the 21st century. We don't need to physically destroy the thing, just like they would have done back in the 1950s, we could have used laser systems to fry the electronics. Here's the Yell. We've had the Yell for years. The Air Force could have put this guy up in the air and tracked in right behind it and fired a giant high-powered laser at the thing and just fried the entire device. And the only thing that would have ever been recovered was a giant junkyard under a balloon. These things are designed to incapacitate hardened ICBMs in the ascent phase, in the boost phase. This thing's nothing compared to an ICBM. This would have been option number one. The Boeing Yell 1, and I'll let you read on that. It would have been an easy way to deal with that. Number two, CHAMP, the Counter Electronics High-Powered Advanced Missile Project. We've had this for years. It's basically a Boeing drone/missile that could have gone up there, intercepted the thing, and set off a localized EMP to torch the thing. Now, those of you that are worried about this, it has the ability to create very sharp directed pulses. There would have been no collateral damage below. And there's a video here on YouTube. U.S. Air Force confirms electromagnetic pulse weapon. The CHAMP was designed to target cities and just a specific building in the city. Let me say that again. It was designed to target just one building. You could literally go to New York, and this thing has the ability to fry all the electronics in one building and have the building right next to it be perfectly fine. So the balloon would have not been any problem whatsoever. Here's another article, Meet the Missile That Wipes Out Everything Electric. It's CHAMP, but we also have this, the EA-18G Growler. This is another aircraft we could have sent up to absolutely fry the thing. So I got thinking about all this, and here's the wiki on the Growler. You can read on that too. We have an entire suite of different defensive assets that we can bring to bear, whether it's just a balloon floating over with some electronics underneath it, or whether it's a missile, or whether it's an aircraft, or anything else. We don't just have one option. But when I looked at the path of the balloon, this is what stuck out to me. Yes, it came in over Montana, and everybody was worried about all the silos and the missile sites up there. Those are hardened. Those are hardened and below ground. Nothing at 60,000 feet is going to divine any new information from flying over that. But it tracked over St. Louis and right over Nashville, Tennessee. Now, there is something in Nashville, Tennessee that they would definitely want to get information on, or try to maybe bait the U.S. into showing their hand. Who remembers? This is all the way back from October of 2020. There's a channel out there, the Chents, that was tracking different things, earthquake monitors and Hurricane Delta, and he picked up this very strange flash that went from Eglin up to Nashville. And we looked into it, and we correlated. Well, he didn't know at the time it was Eglin and Nashville, but there was one here, and there was another one that came out of southern Louisiana and went up to Oklahoma. And we correlated these to military bases. We drew the lines from the 53rd Weapons Evaluation Group up to the 118th Air Intelligence Wing. And there was another one that we correlated. We have another video on this. Here they are. It was a NASA facility, Chenault Field down in Louisiana, and 138th Fighter Wing in Oklahoma, 118th Air Intelligence Wing in Nashville, and the 53rd Weapons Evaluation Group down at Eglin. Now, this balloon flew right over the 118th. This is where those three high-ranking Air Force assets allegedly got, quote-unquote, shot down or had some type of a problem, and they crashed their aircraft. And what they do is they test lasers that can shoot things out of the sky. Here, this is what they do. Now, you want to hear the part that's going to blow your mind? This is a video from, me get this right, 11 December 2021. Turkey makes drones that can destroy bombs with laser beams. It's right. No, I'm not saying this is directly tied or anything, but that we did a video on this from 11 December 2021. You can look it up on my channel. You can just top secret Chinese military laser test now confirmed. U.S. warplanes stand no chance against this. This looks like it's tied together. It looks like this balloon was going right over a very, very secretive, secure Air Force asset in Nashville. And this is what they might have been trying to look at to see if they could bait them into showing their hand, so to speak. Like I said, we have a lot of different assets that we can bring to bear. The YAL is one of them. We have Champ. We have the EA-18 Growler. The idea of sending up an F-22 with a heat seeker is very last century. Shooting things down with heat-seeking missiles is just something that's been going on for, half a century. That doesn't show any of our advanced capabilities. I'm wondering if the Chinese were trying to get us to show our hand and see what we had, where we had it, and how we would respond. Would we use the YAL? Would we use a ground-based system? Would we use a drone? Would we use any of these tactics? And the fact that they flew it right over Nashville, and the fact also that the U.S. waited until it was way out over South Carolina and used some really low-tech option to get rid of it, I think shows that they knew this. And remember, what was Biden's statement? Biden said, I told them to shoot it down like on the Wednesday before it showed up. And the military refused, saying no, and then giving the excuse that, it could cause collateral damage on the ground wherever it fell. It was over Montana. At the time, the chances of it hitting anything in Montana were almost nothing. But I think the real story was this, is that they didn't want to show their hand. They didn't want to show their hand. And the reason the Chinese aimed it over Nashville is because they knew something was there. They knew something was there. And this might correlate that. That they know that there is this facility in Tennessee and another one down in Florida. And who remembers? They actually said that apparently back during the Trump administration, they flew balloons, and you can look this up, over Florida and someplace else. And nobody knew anything about it. We didn't even know about it. Maybe they were trying to test the 53rd Weapons Evaluation Group. So, just going to throw this out there. We have a lot of different things that I think that they would like to have more information about. And they're limited now in their ability to access that information and the advances. And what better way, and this is what ties into the psychological operations. Think about this real quick. What better way to get information about U.S. defensive systems than to do something that would cause Americans to react emotionally? Fly over our airspace, a balloon, we're going to shoot it down with the most advanced thing we have right away. Wasn't that the response? Wasn't that the response right away? The whole media goes nuts, well, right-wing media anyway, about not, going after this with everything we had. Why would you if it wasn't a threat? It would just give it away. It would just give away too much information. So this is something we need to think about, guys. It's a new kind of warfare. I mean, for all we know, they could have just made it look like it was something, halfway threatening. The balloon with the big solar panels on it and all this. And it could have been nothing. It could have been absolutely nothing below that balloon other than a giant fake, a giant dummy. But just to test our responses and how we would do it, and then the information gotten from that would have been the real goal. So I'll leave it there. But once again, thank you to everyone who has showed up. Huge group of people have showed up especially last month or so over there, and ask down in the comment section about it. If you have any reservations, like I said, it's the lowest allowable level for Patreon. It's only $1. Why? I want as many people over there as can possibly be. If they had a level that was 50 cents, I would charge that level. But they don't. So trust me, for your 3 pennies a day, it's definitely something worth your time. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.